Sorry. I'd like to call this meeting of the Brick Township Council to order. Madam Clerk?
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on June 25th, 2021. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspaper and posted on public bulletin boards and the Township website.
Thank you. Roll call?
Councilwoman Zapsik. Councilman Menachino.
Here.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilman Momolo.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Here.
Vice President Halloran.
Here.
President Crate.
Here.
Thank you.
This time we'll salute the flag and have a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please accept and file all reports.
I will.
Can I get a motion and second to approve the minutes of the August 10th and August 27th meetings?
Motion. Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Here.
Councilman Momolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Abstain as to August the 27th and yes to August the 10th.
Vice President Halloran.
Abstain both.
President Crate.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are on to the consent agenda.
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. Resolution 4-1.
Recognize Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, September.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Thank you so much, Madam President. This month, the month of September, we're recognizing Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. The Township of Brick strongly supports Childhood Cancer Awareness Month as a way to spotlight the types of cancer that largely affect children. We also do this to help raise funds for research and family support, as well as to remember the young lives that were taken from us too soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 4-2.
Authorize insertion of Chapter 159, 2021 Community Development Block Grant.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the insertion of a grant in the amount of $315,888 awarded to the Township from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Office of Community Planning and Development for the 2021 Community Development Block Grant.
Thank you. Resolution 4-3.
Authorize cancellation of grant appropriated reserves and receivables.
This resolution authorizes the cancellation of grant appropriated reserves and receivables in programs where the funds cannot be spent within the contract period. Resolution 4-4.
Authorize submission of application 2022 Local Arts Program Grant.
Councilman Halloran.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the submission of a grant to the Ocean County Cultural and Heritage Commission for the 2022 Local Arts Program Grant for the Township's Cultural Concert Series. Thank you.
Resolution 4-5.
Authorize receipt of bids, Mobile Command Unit reconfiguration.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Thank you, Madam President. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for reconfiguration to the Police Department's Mobile Command Unit. The unit itself is in good shape. The interior needs refurbishment. The costs for a new command unit are estimated between $750,000 and $1 million. Our hope is to refurbish the command unit at significant cost savings.
Thank you. Resolution 4-6.
Authorize receipt of proposals, professional services.
This resolution authorizes the receipt of proposals for various professional services as needed for 2022. Resolution 4-7.
Authorize award of bid, purchase and delivery of liquid de-icing agent.
Councilman Menachino.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of a bid for the purchase and delivery of liquid de-icing agent to Reed Systems Ltd., Ellenville, New York, at the cost of $1.12 per gallon. This is a unit price bid with funds certified prior to each order, with a total amount not to exceed $40,000 per year. This award was for 2 years, commencing on September 22nd, 2021, and ending September 26, 2023. Bid notices were mailed to 26 prospective bidders from our bidders list, and 4 picked up bid packages. 1 bid was received, that being Reed Systems Ltd.
Thank you. Resolution 4-8.
Authorize award of contract through New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program, purchase and delivery of 24 portable radios.
Council Vice President Halleran.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract to Motorola Solutions, Inc. in the amount of $58,572.80 for 24 portable radios for the police department. This purchase is being made through New Jersey State contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 4-9.
Authorize, authorize award of contract through New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program, purchase and delivery of computers.
Councilman Mummolo.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract to SHI International in the amount of $136,970 for 119 computers as needed in various departments. This purchase is being made through the New Jersey State contract.
Thank you. Resolution 410.
Authorize award of contract through New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Program, upfit new police patrol vehicles.
Councilman Mummolo.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract to General Sales Administration Trading as major police supply in the amount of $90,666.56 for the upfit of 6 new police vehicles. The purchase is being made through New Jersey State contract.
Thank you. Resolution 411.
Authorize award of bid CDBG Housing Rehabilitation Program Project number 1905.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of bid for a Community Development Block Grant Housing Rehabilitation Program to Your Fixer Upper LLC Millstone for a total bid amount of $26,475. Bid notices were sent to 26 prospective bidders from our bidders list, of which 3 bidders picked up bid packages. 1 bid was received, with Your Fixer Upper LLC being the lowest responsible bidder.
Thank you. Resolution 412. Madam Clerk.
412A is a performance bond release for Carl Purcell, Inc. on Drum Point Road in the amount of $5,000. 412B is a performance bond release for the Wawa, Inc. on Drum Point Road in the amount of $2,880. 412C is an inspection fund release for Bricktown Equities LLC on Route 70 in the amount of $887.78. 412D is an inspection fund release for Security Vault Works on Route 70 in the amount of $1,918.98. 412E is an inspection fund release for Laurelton Park Baptist Church on Route 88 in the amount of $209.16. 412F is an inspection fund release for Elbow Inc. on Herbertsville Road in the amount of $205.56.
Thank you. Resolution 413. Ms. Bergen.
Thank you. 13A are tax overpayments for 2021, Block 902.19, Lot 2.01, in the amount of $1,578.25. Block 576, Lot 22, in the amount of $1,250.52. Block 615, Lot 27, in the amount of $2,233.80. Block 211.23, Lot 10, in the amount of $3,259.30. Block 324.31, Lot 15, in the amount of $1,204.05. Block 1210.06, Lot 34, in the amount of $1,026.81. Block 588, Lot 16, in the amount of $1,370.99. And Block 595, Lot 5, in the amount of $1,604.58.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of our consent agenda. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Closed council, open to public for questions on the resolutions only. Seeing none, closed public, roll call.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mummolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Vice Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution 414, Computer Bill Resolution 2021.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $3,246,681.07.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council? Closed council, open to the public for questions on the computer bill resolutions only. Seeing none, closed public, roll call?
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Momolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes. Resolution 415, manual bill resolution.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,767,865.52.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council? Closed council, open to public for questions on the manual bill resolutions only. Closed public, roll call?
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Momolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes. We are on to ordinances on first reading. 5-1.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 245-90.
This ordinance will authorize the acceptance of a conservation restriction for Block 57, Lot 3, that was purchased by the Manahawkin Shores Association. Members of the association purchased an oceanfront lot for their members' use. They are paying taxes based on the maximum potential use for the property, which is a single-family residential lot. The association is placing a conservation restriction on the property as a beach use, which means it can only be used for that purpose. That conservation restriction is needed for the tax assessor to set the taxable value as a beach opposed to a single-family residential use. Motion and second from council?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council? Closed council, roll call?
I'm going to reread the title because I read the wrong title. for
Did
that
you?
one.
I didn't even notice either. I was like right on my thing here. Reread the title, but whatever I said was the same.
Okay, an ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the acceptance of a conservation restriction with Manahawkin Shores Beach Association, Inc. for Block 57, Lot 3.
Duly noted. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'll take the roll call. So Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Momolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Crate.
Yes. We are on to ordinances on first reading, number 2.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 245-90. Sorry,
That's okay. Take a moment.
I was done. Go ahead, that was it.
Impervious
That was the end of
coverage.
it.
Yes,
Yes.
got it. Okay. On April 13th, 2021, the council passed an ordinance establishing impervious lot coverage as follows. Zone R5, 70% impervious cover limitation. Zone R7.5, 65% impervious cover limitation. Zone R10, 60% impervious cover limitation. Zone R15, 55% impervious cover limitation. Zone R20, 50% impervious cover limitation, and Zone RR, 30% impervious cover limitation. However, the new ordinance has unintended consequences on retirement communities. The one thing that was overlooked was the fact that the communities are in the RR zone, which was designated a 30% max impervious coverage. With the house alone, they exceed the coverage allowance, so any improvements such as a patio or sunroom or deck will technically require a variance. The unintended consequence requires an ordinance amendment. This ordinance amendment establishes maximum permitted allowable impervious surface coverage for planned residential retirement community zone. The maximum percentage allowable impervious surface coverage in the PRRC zone is 70% for single, duplexes, triplexes, and quads. Can I get a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council? Closed council, roll call?
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mamalo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Vice President Halloran.
Yes.
President Craig.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are on to public comment.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. So when we have public comment, what I'll ask is if you raise your hand, and I'll try and call on you to the best of my ability, so you recognize that I'm calling on you, and then you can come up. Nobody waits in line or anything like that. You stay in your seat until you're called to the mic, okay? So anyone for public comment? Mr. Slipka.
I'll try to do it right this time.
You did
John
great.
Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court. My letter of September 10th, I dated it. Dear Mayor Ducey, the Council President, Lisa Crate, Councilman, Councilwoman. I also sent it to the school board because, again, it impacts the schools a little bit. So, anyway, so it's there. Also, the school board meeting got moved to the 27th, so if anybody plans on going, don't go on the 30th. It got moved up a few days. Okay, my letter. In the American Journal of Respiratory Care and Critical Care Medicine, it is written, we found significant positive association between all air pollutants, proxies, and COPD incidents in a model adjusted for age. It also states the effect of air pollution was strongest in people with diabetes and asthma. And we found that the traffic-related air pollutants, NO2 and NOx, are relevant for COPD development. Where air quality is poor, there may be a possible trigger of autism, it was written. According to the World Health Organization, outdoor air pollutants caused an estimated 3.7 premature deaths in 2012 due to heart disease and strokes, but trees can save lives, and the EPA study shows that roadside vegetation improves local, near-road air quality, but the height of vegetation needs to be of thickness to stop the air pollutions with a wall. We need large walls and vast amounts of foliage in order to stop the commissioners of the New Jersey Turnpike Authority from killing us all, including our children, the seniors, and all our workers. For 10 years, the residents have enlightened the council, mayor, and administration to different various studies, some the same, some over and over. But it's time for action, both morally and legally. Remediation of the Garden State Parkway adjacent to Evergreen Woods, Brick High School, Primrose Gardens, Sutton Village, Lanes Mill School, Greenbrier, Town Hall, Birchwood Park, and other places in Brick Township and Ocean County in order to correct the damage caused by the illegal actions of the New Jersey Turnpike Authority's commissioners is a necessity and long overdue. Action is needed now. Thanks for time. I yield back 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Sir?
Good evening. Major Brian McDonald, United States Army Reserve, retired, 175 Chambers Bridge Road, the Chambers Bridge residence. After much deliberation and discussion, I decided that inflation is a concoction created by realtors and landlords, and it goes on and infects other economic locations. A person who rents a 700 square foot apartment, one bedroom apartment, shouldn't have to pay any more than $350, $375, something like that, in Ocean County. Up north, I really don't care. We are outside of the New York metropolitan area. We are outside the Philadelphia metropolitan area. We are only the Jersey Shore, which is playground. You know, this is where people go to enjoy the summer and then split and go back up north. In the meantime, and then from October to March, we have to pay the rent as if, you know, this is Disneyland. It isn't. So, and as housing goes, is a modest starter home, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 40,000. Seriously, I mean, it's out of control, and the economic inflation is just going south, and the realtors and the landlords are saying that we're so special that we should have to pay so much. So, and especially people who are seniors and people who are living on just their Social Security check. I really don't know how we're going to stop this. Like I say, we come up with some kind of a rate, and so that we don't have to buy a home and for the price that they want and then sell it back cheaper. I don't think that's right. I think some people might have to lose money on their homes, and that's the only way it's going to stop. Money is freedom, and the more money you have, the freer you are. And I don't see why I shouldn't have a decent retirement at over $400 a week. So, but some people think I don't deserve one for $400 a week. I'm considered to be impoverished for $400 a week. It's nuts. So I just want to bring this to your attention. Something has to be done at the border. We're Monmouth, it's ocean, that's it. Because if you want to hop on a train or a bus and go into Manhattan and work on Wall Street, that's your business. I've never done that. I don't want to do that. I'm retired. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Sir in the purple.
Good evening. Hope you hear that. Couldn't hear myself last time, but good evening. Mayor Ducey, our esteemed council. I come to before you this evening because I was here a couple weeks ago, and I was asking you to look into residential neighborhood dormitories. And I'm here this week because I, again, want to thank you. I see a lot of action. I hear a lot of action. It makes me feel good that we are putting forth an effort to really deal with this issue. It's not going away. It's called many things now. It's over the last couple weeks. Is it a dorm? Is it a boarding house? Is it a rooming house? Is it a B&B? I'm not sure. I hope you continue to look into these matters. They're very important to the people that are living this situation. I'm sure you know a lot about it. So last time I was here, we were talking about 91 Hendrickson being a dorm. I'm going to call them dorms, alleged dorms. We also had 226 Van Zyl as a alleged dorm. We have 23 Hendrickson, which was the former parsonage house. I'm not sure if it's a dorm. The former rabbi just moved out, but I'd like you to look into that too. And since I was here last time, a couple of other houses on Pello have come under contract to the same LLC, BYKY LLC, the same one that owns 226 Van Zyl. So just looking at my numbers now, we are up to 5 dorms, not including 200 Van Zyl, which I believe is a dorm also. And I would like you to look into that because I know they are sleeping there. And residents have had discussions with townsfolk, so it's not a surprise. So I thank you again. And I also had interest in the amendment to the impervious coverage on the first reading for amend chapter 24 or 245-90. I just question, how does allowing builders build bigger things on a property, how does that benefit the taxpayers? This type of development, it just increases stormwater runoff. which increases bacteria levels at Windward Beach and other places. So I'm just hoping that you'll reconsider that particular amendment. I think it needs more, more of a look. So respectfully, thank you, and have a great night.
Oh, before you go, we didn't get your name for the record. and address.
Joe Orth, and that's 30 Cleveland Ave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else from public? No?
Hi, Mindy Murray. I'm not comfortable giving my address. It is about the impervious surface, kind of just like what Joe said. Isn't part of Greenbrier flooding sometimes anyway? And it seems like everything I come to or everything I read or everything I see going on in my neighborhood, it's just stamped. And it's just bigger than it should be. And they're just getting, lots are getting subdivided. And we just keep getting more and more and more water. And everything's just okayed. But nobody's fixing coming out of Forge Pond or Edge Street or any of those streets. There's times I actually have to wear boots to go to my car so that I can put my shoes on when I get to my work. And nobody's fixing it. And we've been asking for over 20 years. The county comes in and they'll pave Tilford Boulevard and they'll do it wrong, and that causes more runoff. Actually, as a joke, I should have bought the videotape. I have a 3-foot sailboat, and I sailed it for a block and a half, remote control on the, well, not curves, but around my house and the neighbor's house. I don't see how letting, I mean, according to you, Mayor, quite a while ago, you said we were just about built out. So how is not letting more impervious surface come in for seniors? Where are they going to build if we were almost built out? We didn't have to worry about nothing because we were almost built out. You said that.
Yes, go ahead, Councilman Mumolo.
The explanation for that is the seniors were coming in that wanted to put a patio or do anything outside their houses. And the way that the ordinance was written, it wouldn't allow them to do that. It was excluded. They're not adding onto their homes. They're just to put a patio out. If they wanted to do pavers in their back, they couldn't do it.
Will there be something also addressing the runoff that will cause?
The other stuff, that's the other ordinance that was previously passed controlled what you're talking about. Before that, a builder could come in and build whatever they pretty much wanted on the property if it got approved by the planning board.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did is we brought that, scaled that down, limiting how much building they could do on their lots.
Okay.
But when we did that, Greenbrier was in an RR, like it's explained, and that was overlooked. It was an oversight because people come in and want to add a patio. They're not adding the whole yard. It still contains 70%, but it's allowing them to do that.
And the previous will help with whatever runoff that patio may cause. Whatever else you passed will help with that.
That will help with the building of residential homes around the town.
Okay.
Any new building.
And I couldn't find, maybe somebody could help me find it, direct me to it. Do we allow boarding houses in Brick or not?
No.
Because in most places in New Jersey that I've lived or had property, boarding houses and dorms are considered all under the same thing. I'm hoping it's the same thing here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just for clarification, it was our engineer and planner who said we were built out, and I disagree with them. That's why I started the open space savers, because they're saying we're built out, and I see these like little cul-de-sacs jumping up all over the place. So it's, that's why I started the open space savers.
I'm sorry if I misunderstood you.
Yep.
Anyone else from public? Oh, gray shirt and then red shirt, sorry. He beat you to the punch by just a little bit.
Glad I don't have Boy Scout to follow after. John DiGregorio. I live at 235 Pella Road in Brick. And the last time I was before you several weeks ago, I was making reference to the increased traffic situation. Excuse me. I'll make it very brief. There are other issues that I think are even more complicated than just the traffic. Now, when I I'm in my driveway with my 4-year-old grandson, and a car pulls up behind me, and I tell him, don't pass the sidewalk because the traffic's increased and whatever, and he's listening to me. So the little chatterbox stops. I know something's wrong. I look at him, and he's like a deer in the headlights waving. So I turn to take a look, and there was a car that had pulled up silently right at the edge of my driveway, and he's smiling and waving. He's an older gentleman. He's in the traditional attire from some of the residents at the organization at our corner. That's never, ever happened before. I'm kind of disturbed about that, and I think there's going to be a bigger issue than just traffic if this continues and if we fail to shut down the illegal school with lots of strangers we don't know anything about walking all over our neighborhood. Who are they? I mean, you have to be concerned who is in your neighborhood. What are their intentions? I mean, just that little one thing there. In any other real world, this person could conceivably be considered a pedophile. What was the purpose to make eye contact and to, get the attention of my 4-year-old grandson? It wasn't a shortcut because from that corner, he could have been right on Van Zyl. He didn't come down from 70 on the Pello because the passenger side window would be at the edge of my driveway. So I don't understand why he had to make a point to do that. Was he that connected that he couldn't control himself? Or was it to just be so blatantly arrogant, like this is happening and there's nothing you're going to do about it? As Joe had mentioned before, 2 other houses had sold at the top of our street. That's the truth. And why? I spoke to them. They're being bullied out. The phone calls, the text messages, the postcards, and several persons have been contacted at their doorstep, and they say, we can't do this. We have children. This is not the neighborhood I want to be in. So it's not a prejudice thing. It's everybody has to follow the law. It's even beyond being taxpayers. Everybody's got to follow the law, and this stuff just doesn't go. We try to protest it peacefully, and now we have crazies coming from other areas, some within other developments, some from other parts of town, and God knows from wherever else, trying to make it something other than what it really is. They're talking to the media saying we're anti-Semites and we're prejudiced and we don't like Jewish people. And it couldn't be further from the truth. We have Jewish friends and family that are standing there with us. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just, if you live in Brick, pay attention to the same rules, abide by them. This is what we do. It's a community. We care about the community. And for what it's worth, I will not move. My house is paid for. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not hurting for money. My house is paid for. I will not move. So there are others like me in this neighborhood that are going to stand their ground. It's got to start somewhere. And I'll tell you, I have a very, very deep concern if we don't achieve what really needs to be done legally there. It's going to get much worse because we have been talking down some of these outsiders, trying to get them out of there and say, this is not what it's about. There's a big concern, but since we've met the last time, the situation has degraded like tenfold. The cars are pulling out to let people out just to walk. It's like blatant just to aggravate us and agitate us. But, that being said, I know you're doing what you can possibly do. It's a careful situation. Everything is going to just need time to be looked at carefully. But, just from one of the neighbors in Brick, please don't give up on this. We really need your help. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to ask if we could hold the applause. I appreciate everyone's comments. I do, and I appreciate the support that you want to give to each other. But as a public meeting, we really need to keep it more less without the applause. So I appreciate that. Sir, I'm sorry. Thank you for waiting.
Yes, my name's Ralph Morales. I live on 734 Herbertsville Road. I won't be too long, but basically, he said everything that I wanted to see and a lot better. But I'm deeply concerned because, you know, I've been in my home since 1998, and my taxes started low. Now they're really high, and I had to file for permits and everything else, and I have to follow the rules. When these schools, like up the road from Elaine's Mill, they're doing construction there. I'm sure they all have to follow permits. They all have to follow the rules. We should all follow the rules. And I don't know about anybody else, but it's nothing to do with prejudice. But I don't want my house looking like them houses in the next town over. So thank you very much. I do appreciate everything that you guys can do.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Yes, ma'am?
Wait till you get to the
Sure.
mic, then we'll pick you up.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Lucille Rosales, Rajak Court, Breck. 15 or 16 years ago, when did you become mayor? About 15? Oh, okay. Well, then I'm before myself, but about 15 years ago, I had written to traffic safety about a light on Van Zyl Road. And this had to be around 2005, because they gave me the indication that it was going to be done, that there would be a light put, a flashing light was called for on the boulevard where Burn Tavern Manor is. Excuse me, I got a dry throat. And then you had asked me for a copy of that letter because Sutton, who was the safety manager at the time, had retired and you had no knowledge of it. And I had given it to you, and I thought you were going to follow through with that. Now, I drive up and down Van Zyl Road all the time, and I can't tell you how many times I've almost run over people in dark clothing, and it's scary. I don't want to live having killed somebody. And it's almost intentional that they will step out into the road. So my concern is, if this thing with the school doesn't get resolved, are they going to put a light there? We're going to do something for the safety of, you know, people who drive and don't want to kill people?
Yep. So it's a county road, as you know. So when I got your letter, we reached out to the county and sent them a copy of the letter saying this is what was going on 10 years ago, whatever. And the county said it may have been warranted back then, but it's no longer warranted.
Well, shouldn't it be if there's that much more traffic and that much more development? I mean, shouldn't it deserve a new relook? Because I have to tell you, I have seen the cars stop and let kids out, men out, to walk the streets at dusk, and I live right off there. It's constant, and I have to say it's blatant. I believe it's blatant. I mean, and I was looking for my dog one day, and two guys came over to me, and they're like, "What are you looking for?" Like I was in their territory. I said, "I lost my dog. He ran off. I'm over by the school. What is it to you?" Now, normally I'm not afraid of people, but, you know, there were two of them and one of me, and it was dark. So I just think that all of that should get looked into. The light, the traffic, you know, illegalness.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, we have a lawsuit pending.
With
So.
the traffic, with the school thing, yeah, okay. I'm more concerned, because I gotta pull that letter up with the traffic light thing, so that we can get that relooked at.
Yeah, definitely. If you want, you should contact the freeholders directly, or you can go through the engineering department, which is John Ernst.
Okay.
Down there.
Okay.
I mean, I'll do it on your behalf as well, but a lot of times it's more effective when it comes from a resident,
Okay.
as opposed to the mayor, because I literally contact John Ernst probably 5 times a week with things, so I'm sure he's like, "Oh, Mayor Ducey again, Mayor Ducey again." But if a resident does it, perhaps it's more effective.
Okay.
But when we brought it up to him, which was in 2000, was that 18 or 19?
You know what?
It was
Time
before.
has
It was before the
gone
road was
past
paved,
it.
and they said it's it's no longer needed.
Doesn't it seem ironic that now with all the extra development, it's not warranted when it was warranted then?
I can't answer for somebody else. I can't. Then you're asking me. I know, but
All right.
I can't answer for somebody else.
Because you're my mayor.
That's why I said
don't have the
I'll
time.
contact them. But it
Okay.
may be more effective coming from you. But I will definitely
Yeah, I don't
go
want to
through
be
it
that
again.
woman that runs somebody over because they're in the middle of the street and I'm going around somebody, you know?
That'd be jaywalking. So that's
What could I say? Dead is dead.
Dead is dead. But it's not on your conscience if somebody's walking out in front of you.
Anyone else from public? Mr. Finelli?
Vic Finelli, Meadow Point Drive. I just have a legal question about the same subject. I know based on conversations and what I've read, there's penalties assessed every day, like $2,000 for this, that, and the other thing. I know you can also sue for attorney's fees. How about everybody else's time? I don't want the taxpayers to have to pay a dime for this situation. Like, if, example, Joanne has to go to court for half a day. Can we recover her time, or your inspectors, or all these other people writing all these reports and everything?
The short answer is no, you can't. You can't recover for municipal employee time in a lawsuit unless it's extremely unusual, so unusual I don't think I've ever seen it. It's attorney's fees. You can get expert costs sometimes covered. Employees, citizens, no, generally you can't.
Okay, that's a bummer. But just one comment then. I know you're assessing fines. I assume somebody's keeping track of what's going on every day and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
I think this is the first time we've had a situation like this at this magnitude, and you clearly have to send a message that this is unacceptable. So I don't know what a judge is going to do or anything else, but I strongly urge that you get every dime that you can out of these people so this doesn't happen again. You got to send a message that says unacceptable here, follow the rules.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Ma'am?
I'm Lori DiGregorio. I live at 235 Pello Road. I want to.
A little, please.
I'm sorry?
I can't hear you. Just pull the mic.
Better?
Hearing aid battery.
Okay, so it's Lori DiGregorio at 235 Pello Road.
Thank you.
Our famous street now. I have a question in regards to the lawsuit. I saw on Shore Beat and the Asbury Park Press said that they were shut down. The order here does not state that. So what exactly happened?
The judge stated in court that the school was not to operate until the township came in and conducted safety inspections, which you can see in that order. The judge required to be done tomorrow between 8 a.m. and noon. We township inspectors will be out there tomorrow in that time frame to do an inspection and to issue a report to the court. And I think you see the court is monitoring it. The judge has scheduled another phone call, Zoom conference call for tomorrow at 3 p.m.
So then what happened today that they were still out there?
The inspectors?
At the synagogue.
We had our code enforcement officers monitoring to ensure the school is not in operation. To my knowledge, the school was not in operation today.
Well, they were. They were
Okay,
in operation.
excuse me.
Oh, we do. Okay,
They
I
were
was
in full
unaware of that.
force.
Then that will be reported to the court because the court ordered them to be closed, not to operate. And if they were operating, that is a violation of court order.
Okay, so they're going to inspect tomorrow between 8 and 12.
Correct.
And everything's going to be addressed tomorrow afternoon by the judge.
That is correct. That'll be put in front of the judge tomorrow. Everything about the school operating, about the inspections, the reports that are going to be done, all that will be put in front of the judge tomorrow. That's correct.
Okay, and then where do we stand with the dorms?
That is,
Like, what exactly is going on?
Yep,
I'm getting, my house is on my street being sold. I called today to your office, and I think it was Joanne I spoke with. Okay, and you had said that houses are allowed to, they're rented.
Yeah,
Okay, and it has to go by square footage.
They have a rental CO for both of those properties, and your question was how many people can be
Can
allowed to
live,
be in that home. And
right.
I explained to you that it's different per property based on the number of bedrooms and the square footage. So it's
Okay.
not a finite number for every single family home.
Okay,
And they are both have been issued violations for overcrowding.
okay. So now, what about the different people coming in and out? Wouldn't that be of concern?
I could tell you, is we are, notice of violation have been issued. We are also in the process of continuing to get information to conduct an investigation, and we'll take appropriate action
Okay, because
on
I
that
can
as well.
understand a house being rented, absolutely, with the amount of people that are allowed to be there, but one family, not several different people coming in and out. I think that's like renting for short term, which I don't believe that's allowed, is it?
No.
It's 30-day
No.
It's a
Right,
30
30-day minimum, yes.
So how do we, as a neighbor, how do we watch this? And,
I would say if you have any information, you should contact the administration, code enforcement, if necessary, the police department, and we'll take appropriate action. You shouldn't, you don't want to take any trespass or anything on
no,
your own.
I don't plan on it, but I want to know what I can legally do, and who do I report it to, what I see, because I'm going to watch, because we already lost 2 houses at the top of the street, because they're afraid, okay? They were young couples, and it's understandable, so they moved. Now we're on to the next 2 that are feeling the same way. 2 more houses is my house. I've been there for 31 years. It's a lovely neighborhood. I want it to stay that way. I don't care who's living next to me as long as they're good and they keep the property clean, whether they rent or they own it. But I do really object to people coming in and out. I have 2 little grandchildren that I want to be able to play on that street like my son did. So I really, really appreciate you keeping this right out there on the top. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Seeing none, close public. And I lost my spot. I'm sorry, I lost my spot. Yes, we're on to council comments. Ms. Bergen?
None for me, thanks.
Mayor?
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about, on August 25th, Seawood Harbor neighborhood was kind enough to honor our township engineer, Alyssa Cummins, for her help in, kind of designing, but actually more of construction administration for a bulkhead that was out there. That's at the new elevation. As everybody may or may not know, we had our ordinance changed so that all bulkheads have to be higher to obviously stop the flooding from happening as due to high tides. So Seawood Harbor was kind enough to honor Alyssa. On September 10th, Brick Little League had their first opening day parade since in 4 years. So they had, this year was canceled because of COVID in the regular spring season, last year because of COVID, and then 2 years before that happened to be canceled by weather, so they haven't done one in 4 years. And it was another great opportunity to honor the 13-year-old New Jersey state champions. And we're going to have them here at a council meeting sometime in the near future, the team and the coaches. And just to let everybody in Brick know, you may not know, last year there were 12 years olds. The 12 years olds are the one you get to watch on TV on Channel 7 on ABC. So this year, Toms River East, for example, made it that far. We would have been watching Brick. They would have been up in Connecticut first, and I'm sure they would have won. They would have been out in Williamsport, and who knows who they would have played. But it got canceled last year, so all they did is get the New Jersey State Championship. And then as 13-year-olds, this year, again, they were all excited. We're going to do it again. We're 13 now, so they're not going to be on ABC, but they're going to be on ESPN and ESPN2 because the 13-year-olds actually go out to California and they play. And then Little League of the United States of America canceled everything except for the 12-year-old tournament. So the poor kids didn't get to go to California either. So it's been a crazy ride for those kids, and so it's nice to be able to see them again, and we'll have them here as well. It's definitely not the same as going to Williamsport and being on TV, but they'll be on B20 at some point, right?
Something.
The next night was obviously 9/11, and again, thanks to our volunteer fire and our VFW and our police honor guard, American Legion, the American Legion Riders, we had a great appropriate ceremony at Windward Beach at the Angels of Anguish Memorial that honors the 7 Brick residents that died or killed. They were killed on September 11th, and it was nice to see the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts involved because they weren't even alive back in 2001. So to be there as representing what they do, the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, is important. So it was a very moving ceremony, and then the Laurelton Firehouse now does one every year. So if you didn't make it this year, you can make it to both of these next year. They wait until about 7:30 to start theirs, The reason why, what they do, last year they tried it for the first time, as last year they tried to send up spotlights, as you see other areas, the 2 spotlights. You couldn't really see it that well, so they switched it over this year. They had the ladders on their trucks up, and those were illuminated blue, and you could really see those. And that's a nice ceremony. So it starts 7:15, 7:30, whenever it gets dark, and thank you for them, the Laurelton Volunteer Fire, for doing that. September 12th, the next day was Sunday. There was a fun event over at Brick Beach 3, Kite Fest. It was different than other years. It was the first year we were able to do it at Brick Beach 3 since Sandy, because we lost so much of our beach, and then there was the wall construction, and then there was the beach replenishment project, last year we didn't, because of COVID, it was canceled. So we had Kite Fest and it was professional kite flyers. So it was interesting. I think we're going to do the same idea next year and just have a little bit more room for people to be able to fly their own kites in addition to the professionals who were flying their kites. On September 16th, coming up, so if there's any first responders out there watching, so I know there's one right here, but if there's any volunteer fire, volunteer EMS from other towns, our EMS, obviously, police, first responders of any type, the Chelsea, right here in Brick, is having a free breakfast at 9 o'clock in the morning till about 11 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes they cook up pork roll, egg and cheese right on the grill on their porch. Sometimes they have pre-made, sometimes they have pancakes, depending on the year. So any first responders, please stop by the Chelsea at 9 o'clock in the morning on September 16th. September 24th, for all the seniors out there, there's senior bingo and lunch at 12 o'clock noon at our senior center, which is right now it's on Adamston Road. This time next year, we'll have our brand new senior center, which will be located on Aurora Place, but that'll be built between now and then, but right now we're still out on Adamston Road. Saturday, September 25th, is our shredding event from the county. So the county brings in trucks, and you can bring in whatever papers. You don't need to take out the staples or the paper clips or anything, and they dump it into a truck, and it gets shredded right there between 9 and 12. It's at our DPW Hill, which is on right off of Sally Ike. And that night at 6:45 is the Dragon. I'm sorry, it's actually a little bit earlier. It starts about 5 o'clock. The Dragon Band Competition across the street. If you're interested in Brick or Brick Memorial, if you get there at 6:45, you can just see that. If you wanted to see the other schools, you'd have to get there a little bit earlier. September 26th is our Black Poster Day at Windward Beach between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And what that is, it's a really another moving situation. It's posters and little stories, very, little, maybe 500 words or less, story about about people who have overdosed from heroin, and it's you read about maybe something about from the kid who overdosed, maybe from his goddaughter and how great of a person it was, or you read the next one, and it's about a kid who hurt his arm playing baseball and he had Division I scholarship, and then he they put him on painkillers, and then he got hooked on that and ended up, ultimately overdose on heroin. So it's a real moving event. You go along and you read these little stories about each person that's there. And how many? Does anybody know the number of posters there is this year? I think it's over 100. It's a big number. Last year there was probably 75 or 80, and they said they have at least 30, 40 more. Unfortunately, but it's between 1 and 5 at Windward Beach. So if you really want to have a learning experience, that's the place to go. And the family members are there. Some of them, not all of them, obviously, but some of them are there, and it's pretty amazing event. October 2nd, which is a Saturday, is our last farmers market. That's 8:30 to 1:30 every Saturday between now and then at Windward Beach. Also on October 2nd is Challenger Halloween. So any kids, young adults with developmentally disabled would be able to enjoy that Challenger Halloween. It's 12 to 2. It's out at the Havens Farm on Herbertsville Road. And then that night is the Brick Memorial Band Competition. So if you're interested in band competition, September 25th, Old Brick Township. October 2nd is Brick Memorial. And if you live close to that, you'll be able to enjoy the music all day. So thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Starkey?
No, I have nothing tonight, thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Nothing, thank you.
Madam Secretary?
Nothing, thanks.
Councilman Menachino?
Thank you. No, I have nothing tonight.
Councilwoman Dion?
Yes, thank you. I have been appointed to the Electric Vehicle Committee. The township is starting to look at transitioning our fleet and adding some charging stations. So some of the stuff that we've been talking about is identifying the grants, so we don't have to pay for all of it, of course. That's always a bonus. And to make the vehicle charging stations available to the public. So we've identified 2 different parks that we're looking at that are used quite often. And we're also looking into and investigating adding electric vehicles to our township fleet. We can't just flip our fleet automatically to electric vehicles. That would cost an enormous amount of money. But we're looking to do it gradually over time to start switching over to electric. It obviously seems to be the wave of the future, and we want to make sure that we stay on top of this and get as much grant money as possible so that we don't have to defer the cost to the residents, that we can get our grant funding in order. And with that, I thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Momolo?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Councilwoman Montanaro?
Yes, thank you. I'll be brief. September is also the month where we recognize senior centers. So for Senior Center Month, I just wanted to give a couple of reminders about senior services that you may not know that Brick has for you. For example, if you're unable to do your food shopping on your own, whether it's due to the fact that you don't want to be in the stores or you're physically unable to do so, you can call, and through NJ Cares, they will set up a someone to volunteers to do your shopping for you and bring it to you. You can call 732-920-8686. Our Senior Services Center also offers the medical transportation for seniors 60 and over, as well as shopping at just the local stores if you wanted to go yourself. So they do have the transportation available. Masks are required on the bus, and social distancing is in place. So those are just a couple of things from a myriad of wonderful programs that our senior center offers. I'm getting super excited about having a whole building devoted to our seniors soon. So just wanted to give you those highlights. That's all I have. Yes. Well, you can, my heart is with the seniors. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Heller?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Okay, I have nothing as well. I just want to thank everyone for coming out this evening and joining us for our meeting, and let you know that our next meeting will be held on Tuesday, September 28th at 7 p.m. Can I get a motion to adjourn? So, all in favor? Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.